Welcome to Find Myself Free, the podcast. I'm Ellie Young, alcohol-free life coach, mom, and athlete. I'm dedicated to helping others change their relationship to alcohol by sharing my journey of transformation. Fascinated by my own capacity for change after decades of gray area drinking, I'm passionate about sharing what I've learned from neuroscience and positive psychology to help you break free from the drinking cycle and unlock your true potential. Hear my personal stories of triumph and struggle as I navigate raising two boys, finding myself after 40, building a business, and doing it all alcohol free. From women's health and cycle syncing to fasting and biohacking, this podcast is your roadmap to a healthier, purpose filled life that starts with changing your relationship to alcohol. It's time to embrace change, find balance, and create the life you were meant for. Welcome to Find Myself Free. Hello, and welcome back to Find Myself Free, the podcast. I'm Ellie Young, your host, and it is almost summertime here. I live in Southern California, and my boys are going to be out of school next week. I am equally excited and also terrified for summer to start. All moms can relate, I'm sure. I love the structure of school. I love that they are out of the house for a big chunk of the day so I can live my life and do my business and all the things that keep me healthy and grounded. But I also love the release of the pressure of school and schedules and sports. Although, yes, I'm still very busy with my boys and camps and sports and things. But there is just like a lighter load in the summer mentally. And, we take vacations and everybody's just a little bit happier in the summer. I think that kind of applies to everybody, right? But this episode is really about the reasons why I actually think summer is the ideal time to take a break from alcohol. Now, people are going to push back and challenge me on this, but hear me out, okay? We really never think there is a good time to take a break from alcohol. And by good, we mean easy, right? We mean less events, less opportunities, less moments that are going to challenge us, that are going to tempt us to drink, right? We always are searching for that kind of perfect time in the calendar where we don't have something going on, where it'll be easy to just hibernate, stay home and not drink and kind of stick to your wellness routine or your detox or whatever it is, right? This doesn't exist. I know for a fact because I tried it for years. I tried to find a moment in my calendar where I could take a break. And it just doesn't happen, right? Alcohol is everywhere. It's ubiquitous. There is always an excuse to drink. There is always somebody or an event where alcohol will be around. So we can kind of throw that out that there is like a moment where you're not going to be tempted by alcohol. And so really what we need to do is reframe our mindset around alcohol. Why is it so challenging to take a break? And it really ties back to this belief that we really think we can't enjoy ourselves without alcohol. And summer is really filled with all sorts of fun events. It's travel, it's family, it's holidays like 4th of July, and there's beach days if you live at the beach, or maybe your lake days, or, generally there's some type of body of water and fun times being had, right? And is it really true that you can't enjoy yourself at these things without alcohol? Like, really look at that, really examine that. Like, is it truly not fun to not be drinking? And don't get me wrong, I used to believe this wholeheartedly. Like, when I had to go alcohol free, when I was pregnant, I was miserable. I was kind of like, man, woe is me. Like, I can't have any fun while everybody else gets to get obliterated and I'm the DD or whatever that was, right? I believed that. And because I believed it, it created my reality of not having a good time. But now that I've been living alcohol free for over 3.5 years now, I know I actually have a better time alcohol free. But I can tell that to you, but you have to really prove it to yourself. So if that thought keeps coming up, that like, I can't have any fun. How am I supposed to have fun at these events if I'm not drinking? Really challenge that. It's a beverage. At the end of the day, it's a drink. And if you are allowing a drink to dictate the amount of fun you can have in your life, that's worth checking out. There's a whole lot of life to be lived out there. And if it all hinges on you drinking a certain substance to basically toxify your brain, like it's worth checking out. And that's not even getting into like the side effects of alcohol. I mean, we're all like lured by this 20-minute buzz, right? We think all that fun is in the buzz and in the laughs and in the connecting and whatnot. But it's a facade. It's toxifying your brain. And then there's a litany of side effects that damage you, that make you sick, that make you hungover, that cause cancer, that cause hormonal changes, wrecks your sleep. I'm just getting started. So like really challenge that. Is that really fun? Is it really fun to suffer the side effects of alcohol all summer long? I used to do this. You guys, I live at the beach. It was basically I would work out and sweat out the sins of my night before. I would, me and my husband would kind of bicker over who was going to watch the kids so we could take turns trying to get our workouts in, or he would go surf and I'd watch the kids, or I would work out and he'd watch the kids. It was always like this tit for tat battle between us. And then we'd get cleaned up and be like, we're going to the beach. And it was usually around like noon or 1 o'clock, kind of when the sun was really starting to pick up. And we'd start day drinking and we would drink at the beach until like the sunset and just be shit-faced by the time we came home. And I would struggle to get the kids in the bath and get the sand off. I would leave the cooler in the garage filled, and I wouldn't clean it up till the next day. There was sand everywhere, towels, it all just dropped everywhere because I was just too tired and too lazy to try and do anything. And we'd end up ordering bad food and overeating and like kind of passing out on the couch. And it just, I look back and I'm like, man, was that really living my best life? I live in this beautiful place at this beautiful beach. And like, I thought I needed to enhance it with alcohol in order to have a good time. So when I look back now, and actually, I'm just really grateful now that I get another chance to kind of live at this beach with my kids and do it differently because I was doing it wrong, period. Hands down, it was wrong. So hear me out. This is what I want you to consider. I love this analogy. I've kind of heard it done a few different ways, but this is my take on it. It's like you have met this really cute boy. Let's pretend we're all not married or not in relationships or whatever it is. We're dating. We've been dating this idea of an alcohol-free life for a bit. Maybe you're sober curious. Maybe you've strung together a few days here and there. Maybe you did my balance challenge and you strung together a couple weeks or a month alcohol-free and you were like, wow, I feel amazing. Okay, so this alcohol-free life, stay with me now, is this new guy you're dating. He's adorable. He loves to dote on you. He supports your goals. He really helps you sleep at night. He makes you feel really, really good about yourself. He is like, hey, let's work out. Hey, let's stick to your diet goals. He just treats you really well. He builds your confidence. He helps you feel full of integrity, right? This is this alcohol-free life. This is this adorable guy you're dating. And he's like, I want to take you out this summer. I want to date you. I want to love you up and down and make you feel amazing all summer long, right? And you're like, sorry, I made plans with the douchebag I've been dating for several decades now. Booze, right? So stay with me in the analogy. Booze is like that bad, complicated relationship you've been in for a really long time. This guy, he makes you feel like shit. He sabotages your weight loss goals and any healthy habit. He wrecks your confidence. He makes you feel bad about yourself. He embarrasses you in public. He makes you feel ashamed in the morning, right? He wrecks your sleep. He keeps you up at night with anxiety and he depresses you. But you're like, yeah, you know what? I don't want to miss out on another summer with this guy. Think about that. You've spent summer after summer with this guy. We know how that plays out. We know how that makes you feel. Is it do you really want to spend another summer with that guy? Or what about this other guy? What about this hottie, this alcohol-free life hottie who is like, hey, baby, I want to treat you right all summer long. Let's go. Why not explore with that guy, right? God, I love this analogy. I'm 43. I haven't been dating since I was 21. I met my husband at 21. It's really fun to live vicariously through this analogy of a super hottie down on the beach who wants to dote on me. So anyways, that's that alcohol-free life. It makes you feel amazing. You'll look back on that douchey guy and you'll just be like, why was I in that relationship for so long? Right? It's like that toxic ex, that bad boyfriend that you were embarrassed to say you ever dated. We all had one of those, right? All right. So now let's on to the top 3 reasons why I believe summer is the ideal time to take a break and date that alcohol-free hottie, right? Okay. You don't have to marry him. Nobody's saying, let's do this forever. I'm just saying, try it for the summer. Let's date him for the summer and see how it goes, right? And here is why that is possible. And here is why it is an amazing time to do it. Okay. Number 1 is that cutting alcohol will help you look and feel your best. Now, who isn't motivated in the summer to look and feel their best? We have all been trying to get in shape for summer. We're trying to slim down. We're trying to work on our tans. We're hitting the gym. We're all the things, right? Because often we're in swimsuits or summer dresses or going to parties and we want to look and feel our best. I get it. This is the time when you're more motivated than any other time in the year to work on this kind of stuff, right? Cutting alcohol is going to support every single goal you have, right? Number 1, it's going to help you sleep. If you're not sleeping, it's really hard to lose weight. You know why? Because your cortisol gets all jacked up. Alcohol also raises your cortisol. When your cortisol is high, your blood sugar is high because your liver is releasing blood sugar, assuming you are in fight or flight and that you are going to have to run away from a tiger, right? So your blood sugar is high, which raises your insulin. And if you are not burning off that sugar that's being released into your bloodstream, insulin then stores it as fat. And as this happens repeatedly with high cortisol from the alcohol, from you not sleeping great, that creates insulin resistance, meaning your body is producing insulin, but it can't get inside the cells. The cells are busted. They can't utilize the insulin. So your cells can't get that energy. So you are low energy and it ends up storing it as fat. This is a nightmare. This is what alcohol does to your body. Okay. Is that how you want to be supporting your body in the summertime? No, right? You are working so hard. You are eating right. You are exercising. You are hydrating. Don't let alcohol be the thing that is sabotaging all of those other efforts. It's just not worth it, right? And if you are telling yourself, well, this is my one treat, this is my one reward, I really want you to challenge that. Is it a reward to basically negate all your other efforts? Is that a reward? Is it a reward to wreck your sleep? Is it a reward to have a hangover? No, rethink that. Is that 20-minute high that you're trading basically for all these other negative side effects, is that really worth it? Examine that. It's definitely worth a look, right? So alcohol is going to support not only your weight loss goals, it is going to support your motivation, right? So when you wake up and you are not hungover, you are going to have energy to not only pursue whatever exercise or things, your life. You're going to have motivation to go on adventures, to try new things, to have energy to play with your kids. Okay? And this snowballs. When you are not hungover day after day after day, and you have this new resource of energy that you haven't had in a really long time because you've been drinking for a long time, it's like you don't even have the perspective of what it feels like to have this much time under your belt alcohol free. It is a game changer. I am telling you, you're going to be like, whoa, I didn't think I had anxiety, but now I know what I feel so much better without alcohol. Like that's one of the hugest things for me. Like I definitely battled anxiety and low level depression, but I would have never characterized myself. I have countless friends on medicine for anxiety, on medicine for depression. I would not characterize myself as that. Yet when I gave up alcohol, I experienced such relief in those areas that I was like, maybe I was depressed. Maybe I was super anxious. And alcohol was just, it was fueling it, and it fuels it biochemically. It wasn't just me. It quite literally raises your adrenaline and cortisol chronically, not just like the nights that you drink in the aftermath. It keeps it high all the time because alcohol is a depressant. Alcohol affects your brain over time and it keeps you in a low state, a low mood, and it lowers your ability to experience the pleasures from other things. This is what happens to your brain over time when you're drinking. And not even if you're a heavy drinker. This is just like the average drinker. So knowing that it's going to do all of this stuff to your health, like if I want to be looking and feeling my best for summer, and I know what all my past summers have looked like with alcohol, I'm really curious about what would happen if I did a summer alcohol free. Like how good would I feel? Right? Get curious about that instead of looking at it as like such a deprivation thing. Oh my God, not going to have fun. I'm going to sacrifice so much. Get really curious about it. Like what actually will happen? How much will I learn about myself? How good will I feel? Because that is what a healthy brain that isn't under the influence of a neurotoxin has the capacity to be, has the capacity to reset your pleasure circuits and the little things start to feel good again. It has the capacity to like, you know, you're going to be so hydrated. Your skin is going to look great. Your eyes are going to be clear. Your moods are going to be better. I haven't even talked about hormonal health. Alcohol wrecks your hormonal health. I have many a podcast episodes about this. I do an entire balance challenge teaching people about this. But the long and short of it is that alcohol raises your cortisol. It raises your estrogen, creating estrogen dominance, which is responsible for all the bad PMS symptoms we have. It also squashes your progesterone. We need our progesterone to help us sleep. It helps offset the fire of estrogen. It helps keep us calm. And when our progesterone is low and our estrogen is high, we suffer. We are miserable. We have heavy periods. We feel bloated. We can't sleep. We rage out. Alcohol is the number one contributor to this. If you are drinking alcohol and your hormones and you are expecting for hormone balance, it just can't happen, you guys, especially in perimenopause when hormone balance is so critical. Okay? So cutting alcohol is truly the number one thing you can do to look and feel your best for summer. If that is one of your goals, and I know everyone's highly motivated for summer, that is why that is the thing to do. Cut the booze. Cut the booze. All right, number 2. Now, this is just a theory, and people might push back on this, but I believe cortisol is lower in the summer. Cortisol is our stress, right? It's a hormone. It sits at the top of the hormone hierarchy, affecting the release of all of our other hormones below it, like our sex hormones, estrogen and progesterone. So cortisol can be lower in the summer. Now, some moms might push back on me. I talked a little bit about this at the top of the podcast where I was like, school's out. In my household, school's a big pressure, especially for my son who has ADHD in 7th grade. He gets a lot of detentions. He struggles to prepare for tests. We have to hire a tutor. It's a lot of ongoing management of him in school that creates a lot of stress in my household. And I'm very, very much looking forward to a break for that for our family. Also, our schedules are a lot looser. We play club soccer year round. We get a month off in the summer. And that means, our weekends are much more opened up. We can sleep in. There's just less schedules of like, gotta be here now, gotta go, gotta drive places. So that lowers my cortisol. Now, don't get me wrong, having my kids around underfoot all summer long is irritating. I have things I want to do. I have a business I want to run. I have appointments. And it's hard to have them underfoot. So yes, I do pay a lot of money to put them in camps. That is a schedule that is like, driving them places and stuff. But I still think it's lower cortisol than the school year. Okay. Now, also, we get to go on vacations in the summer, which are designed to help lower our stress. That is, if you're not drinking all vacation long. So that's another thing to check yourself. If you are going on vacation and you're like, I'm going to take time off work, I'm going to sleep in, I'm going to spend quality time with my family, go someplace beautiful, check out, what is it called when you, whatever, unplug from your screens, all the things, right? But if you are boozing, that is not going to work because alcohol raises your cortisol and it wrecks your sleep. Double whammy in the cortisol department. So take advantage of the fact that cortisol can be lowered in summer. And why is this important? Why is this helpful if we are trying to take a break from alcohol? Because stress is one of the biggest reasons we drink, right? We drink to combat our cortisol, yet ironically, it's raising it. But because of that temporary buzz, that numbing effect, we think it's helping. It's really actually just dulling your brain. It's literally just making you forget about your stress or forget about whatever is stressing you. It is not solving the problem. It is literally kicking the can down the road to a you that is more tired, more anxious, more depressed, and still has that same irritation, that same problem, that same stressor in their life. So, what I suggest to you is that because we do have this window of time in summer where perhaps things on our plate are a little lighter, our stress loads are a little lighter, right? Take advantage of that because perhaps you're going to be less triggered to drink because your stress is low. And you have this opportunity to kind of roll with that momentum and learn to cope with the stress because we're never going to live stress-free lives, right? It's always going to be somewhat stressful. But you have this opportunity to be like, I can now manage the stress in a healthy way. I don't need to drink to combat my work stress or the school stress or the sports stress. I can now say, you know what? I'm going to take a walk. It's beautiful out. It's a beautiful summer day. I'm going to go see the sunset. I'm going to get outside more, right? There's more sunlight hours in the day in the summertime. And sunlight is one of the best ways to lower your cortisol. Exercise is one of the best ways to lower your cortisol. Movement. Another thing that helps really lower cortisol, oxytocin. Snuggling a loved one, snuggling a pet. Use these methods, sunlight, exercise, oxytocin, to capitalize on summer's advantage here. Okay? That combination, instead of drinking, can be so beneficial to you. I also recommend dopamine stacking to help you offset your cortisol. If you are stressed in the summer and you are craving that drink, it's because you want that dopamine boost from the alcohol. You can create this dopamine boost by dopamine stacking a bunch of other healthy behaviors. Yes, it requires more work. Yes, it requires interrupting your pattern, interrupting that cue, craving, response, reward. And this is something I help my clients do in the Brave. If anybody is interested, the Brave course is open right now. And this is something I work on my clients with to really help you hack the drinking habit here, the cue, craving, response, and reward. But we basically learn to dopamine stack instead of, we feel that trigger to drink and we pause and we have this moment where we question that thought, man, I really think alcohol is going to help me manage my stress and anxiety right now. Is that really true? No, it raises my stress and anxiety. What can I do instead? Right? And I get it. Pouring yourself a drink is a lot easier physically than taking a walk around the block in the sunlight. But the more you can do it and you utilize this method of 5, 4, 3, 2, 1, just rocket ship, blast yourself into the new behavior. Don't give your brain any window of time to talk yourself out of it. And you actually just 5, 4, 3, 2, 1, boom. I want to plug and play this new behavior that's going to help me lower my cortisol in this moment. And it's going to give me a boost of healthy dopamine that I can stack with another healthy behavior that I can stack. I try to help my clients create like a little sanctuary in their house that has things that stimulate on all five senses that are going to really provide a lot of dopamine on all five senses. And having that at the ready, you can also have a little toolkit. If you're not in your home where you can kind of escape to your little sanctuary, you have a little toolkit in your bag if you're going to be traveling, if you're going to be going to an event, that you have things that you can call upon to really give yourself a little boost, right? And sugar is usually what most people fall upon, or caffeine, right? Yes, those are okay temporarily, especially if they're going to keep you from drinking. But in the long run, you want to be cultivating and building this little dopamine stacking routine, this dopamine stacking sanctuary. And again, this is all designed to lower your cortisol, boost dopamine. And summer is filled with opportunities to do this, more so than any other season, really, because you have less going on. You have more beautiful weather, you have travel, you have all these things you can do to really, take advantage of, to help lower your cortisol and really treat yourself, treat your nervous system to some healing, to really tell your brain and body that you're going to take care of yourself, that you're going to love yourself. Summer is an amazing time to do these kinds of things. So let's move on to the third one. Now we've got um, the third reason is opportunity for adventure. Now, I kind of touched upon this, but because summer is a time for travel for a lot of people, our kids are off school. We have this window of time with our kids, which I know parents out there, are you guys thinking about this? Have you ever done the math where they say, like, you have 18 summers with your children before they are gone out of the house, right? What are you doing with those summers? What are you doing with that time? And that's always a crazy way to think about your time with your kids. Like, oh, I got to make the most of it. But um, anyways, I digress. But because summer has more opportunity for adventure, you really get to satisfy this need, this human need for variety, for adventure, for excitement with other things. We have been fulfilling this human need with alcohol. The world is so big, the world is so beautiful. We have all this opportunity to go try new things. And instead, for decades, we've been entertaining ourselves with a beverage, pretending we're living our best life. Isn't that wild? Think about that. How much time I have spent just doing the same thing over and over and drinking a substance that deludes my brain into being like, this is funny. This is exciting. I'm having a good time. And then hours later, I'm passed out and I feel like shit the next day. And I don't remember. Like, whoa, was that entertaining? Did I really live my life? Or how about all the times I did travel to cool places? I was on a cool adventure, but I didn't go out and take advantage of it. I didn't maximize that moment because all I could think about was getting to the bar and starting to drink, or getting to happy hour, or whatever it is, counting down the hours until it was appropriate to start drinking. I can't tell you how many vacations I spent just seeking out the alcohol as if I needed it to make it better. Incredible places like Hawaii, Costa Rica, Fiji. I literally was just like, when can I start drinking? Because that's what you do on vacation, right? You're in a tropical place. You need a tropical drink in hand. You need to have a swim up bar and, get shit faced in the pool. What? What? So let summer just be this incredible opportunity to meet that core human need of yours for variety, for excitement, with something other than alcohol, a drink, a beverage, right? Think about how much you've relied on that to create a good time for you. And was it really a good time? Questionable, right? Let's question that. The amount of joy I experience now on an average night alcohol free is so much bigger and better than anything I ever felt with alcohol. True. Alcohol homogenizes your experience. It starts to feel the same all the time. No matter what you're doing, the buzz is the same, right? So we've been so conditioned to use alcohol to entertain us. We drink when we're bored. It's how we socialize. We don't even really know how to do it otherwise. And so I want you to flip that on its head. Instead of being like, oh my gosh, this is so uncomfortable. I don't know how to hang out. I don't know how to entertain myself without alcohol. I want you to see it as an adventure. Like, oh my gosh, I'm going to do this alcohol free. What is this going to be like? And don't get me wrong, it's going to be awkward. You're going to have some anxiousness and some discomfort. And that is your brain growing. That is your brain changing. That little friction we feel is because your brain wants to hop on that really easy pattern of just like, give me the cheap dopamine and then let's just go down that cycle again, right? This requires energy. This requires some effort on your part. But the summer is filled with opportunity to really like build in so much more variety and excitement in your life. Use that travel with your family to go do something special. I do so much more with my kids now that I'm alcohol free. Like I'm so much more likely to like get up off my ass and be like, yeah, let's go play. Let's go do these things. I used to actually play with my kids, but I was like drunk doing it. I'm not going to lie. Like playing in the pool, throwing them around. Like I always thought I needed alcohol to fuel me to be the fun mom. Turns out I'm actually fun without the alcohol. And I last into the night now, and I can still cook them a dinner and I could still, you know, engage with them at bedtime in a way that isn't just like, please go to bed so I can pass out now. Like it's it's so sad to look back at that time. And I'm being completely honest with you that I regret it with every ounce of my being. But now I have this opportunity to really live life with them and to show them like how much joy you can have in the pursuit of like adventure and excitement and like cool things by just trying new things. I'm so much more open-minded because I'm not trying to just find my way to the booze. Like the world opens up and it's really, really exciting. And tapping into that part of yourself again is really exciting because you get to know yourself again. You get to explore all these things and be like, what do I really like? I'm 43 and I'm like, ooh, turns out I really like this. I'm going to go chase after that, you know? It's pretty cool. And summer is filled with opportunities for that, right? So when framing it like this, I really see there being no better time than summer to take a break. Ultimately, we're breaking a habit, right? And there are two main draws, main habits when we use alcohol, right? And it's like stress relief and entertainment to have fun, right? To like take a load off and kick back and enjoy ourselves, right? And taking advantage of what summer offers to challenge these two beliefs, right? And retrain your brain to enjoy other things and to manage our stress in other ways, it can really be achieved quite easily in summer because there's just so much opportunity to experience joy and have pleasure in all these other ways. And our stress can be mitigated in summer with all these healthy ways. There's more daylight. Our stress loads are lower. Like take advantage of this. Don't just be like, you know what? I got to still date the douchebag this summer. I got to keep showing up to the same parties, drinking the same things, experiencing the same hangovers and just like dreading mornings and dreading that time with my kids, just wishing they weren't around. Like think about that. We've done that summer. We've done that for years. This summer could be an adventure. I hope I'm inspiring you. I hope I'm making it sound instead of you believing that it's going to be deprivation, that you're going to miss out, that it's going to suck. And by the way, if you are telling yourself that, your brain is going to look to prove that right. That is confirmation bias. What we are thinking, what we are believing, an expectation, your brain is trying to make that happen. So if you can visualize and imagine the possibility of you actually fulfilling all of your human core needs without alcohol, like pursuing joy, pursuing connection, doing all these things without alcohol, like, and you see yourself succeeding at it, like really enjoying yourself. Because at the end of the day, do you really want to be somebody who can't live their life, who can't enjoy their life without a beverage? Does the joy in your life hinge on a drink? Is that really what you want to be doing? Like, question that. No, it doesn't mean you have a problem with alcohol. You don't have to label yourself anything. But if your joy is hinging on the idea that you can't have fun without this drink, that is something to investigate. Create that new possibility. Believe you can have an incredible summer, the best summer of your life. Yes, it might be a bit awkward, but you are going to look your best. You are going to feel your best. You are going to sleep like a baby. You are going to experience max joy because you're no longer numbing yourself with a neurotoxin. This is your opportunity. I'm excited to share this with you. Like, I hope I'm inspiring you because I'm really fired up about it. Like, I can't tell you how many people will be like, oh, it's not a good time. Like, I'd love to take a break from alcohol, but not this summer. Like, I'll wait until after summer, after you're all pickled and burnt out and like just can't wait for your kids to go back to school. Come on. You've done that before. Why not try something new? What do you have to lose? Also, I tell this to my kids all the time when they're like afraid to try something. Like, what's the worst that happens? You don't like it and you fail? Like, okay, what is failure even? Like, there is no failure as long as you continue to show up and you continue to try, you continue to grow. Like, growth is also a core need. It's a need of the spirit to continue to grow. Alcohol keeps you small, it keeps you stuck. It keeps you from learning from things. It keeps you from addressing the anxieties in your life because you're just numbing them and you're just quieting them, dulling them down. Again, kicking the can to the future for you that is like less equipped, feeling shittier to now deal with it, right? Like, I don't know about you, but I'm ready for more. Alcohol has made me so ambitious, so excited to live life, so curious to grow and keep learning. I want that for you. I do. Like, that's why I keep doing this stuff. That's why I'm like on this podcast weekly, just trying to get the message out and just be like, listen, if you are out there listening to this and it's striking a chord, it's striking a nerve, it's making you feel uncomfortable because you're like, shit, I want that. And I don't know how to get it. It's hard. Don't get me wrong. It's tough. It's really tough. But there are little tweaks you can do mentally. This is neuroplasticity and it's truly accessible to everybody. You can learn some basic things and it's like a little seed being planted in your subconscious mind and it's going to start to shift things around and it's going to start to change your behavior. And you will be so surprised because yes, it'd still be awkward. Yes, it's still going to be challenging, but you are going to watch your desire to drink fade because you no longer believe it's serving you. You no longer believe that douchebag of a boyfriend who's been essentially abusing you, poisoning you for decades is worth your time anymore. You're going to be like, I only want to spend my time with this alcohol-free hottie who wants to love me and show me the best that this world has to offer. Let's go. All right. I've said enough. My kids are going to be coming home soon. So I am with you. You got this. If you are interested in taking that break, I've got two things for you. One, my top 10 tips to kickstart your break. This is just a free resource on my website. Go to my website, hit the more button and scroll down to the free resource, your top 10 tips to kickstart your break. This is just a PDF of all my top things that are just like start small, start with these. All right. If you're ready for more, if you're like, girl, I'm motivated, I want to start on this, check out my Brave course. This is a self-paced on your own course. You can listen to the coaching videos while you're folding laundry, while you're walking your dog, while you're driving in the car. It is easy and it is packed with the lessons that changed me from a daily drinker to over 3 years alcohol free. These are the lessons. And I've continued to add to it and fine tune and tweak it with all the stuff I've learned over the last 3 years. It's a game changer. All right. And if you want more than that, one-on-one coaching. I worked with a coach for 4 months at the start of my journey, and it made all the difference. It's why I'm a coach today. All right. So having someone to talk to who can really get in to the weeds with you and be like, what are you really thinking alcohol's doing for you? Right? It's hard. It's uncomfortable. It's challenging. But that's what I'm here for. I've been there. I can help you. All right. And it's worth it. Imagine if you did this summer, if you tackled this summer, What does the next year look like for you? What does the next 2, 3 years look for you? My life has fundamentally changed in such a positive way. Like, if I could go back and tell myself these things 5 years earlier, I would do it in a heartbeat. I would do anything to go back and give myself more years alcohol free. So I hope this inspires you today. Summer is here. How do you want to spend it? As always, I am with you. You got this. Hey, you've just listened to an episode of Find Myself Free. And if some part of this left you wanting more, if your curiosity has been piqued and your intuition is telling you, I'm ready for more, then check out my coaching offers at findmyselffree.com. I have the Brave course to help you break free from booze. And I designed this course with the exact lessons that led to my transformation. I also have the Balance Challenge for those ready to learn the art of cycle syncing to balance their hormones. If you're looking for additional support and to take either of these programs to the next level, I also offer one-on-one coaching. Now, I worked with a coach for 4 months at the start of my alcohol-free journey, and it made all the difference. Being able to talk to someone who knew what I was going through and could help me navigate my new world gave me a foundation of support I could build on. And it's a big reason why I'm a coach today. I want to help others find their freedom and level up their health. If this sounds good to you, connect with me at findmyselffree.com and set up a call. Listen to your intuition that is telling you you were meant for more. I am with you. You got this.